Hello, welcome back to Essays Made Easy. When we write an essay, the introduction is of utmost importance because, as you know, the first impression makes the best impression. Recently, when I check many essays, people come up with very strange kind of introductions because I don't know from where people get this kind of ideas, because everywhere I think people are given this input that you have to make a very good introduction, and people come up with very strange kind of stories. While I say stories, it is some made up kind of stories. So about some remote village and some person is getting an inspiration and thinking about government, thinking of making it big for people. Some such kind of fictitious account is given as an introduction. Let me tell you, these things does not make any kind of sense. The purpose of an introduction here is to make the examiner understand that you understood the topic perfectly. So, you have to come up with something which has a direct bearing on the topic. So, it could be a quote, it could be a story, it could be a real life example, anything which have a direct bearing for the, a direct connection with the given topic. So, for example, there was a essay on globalization and impact on culture when I wrote my first mains in 2004. So, this essay I started with a quote. So, we are talking about globalization here. So, I used this tagline of Vishwabharati University called Yatra Vishwam Bhavatyeka Needham. That means the whole world as a single nest. So, that was, I think, has a direct bearing to the concept of globalization, seeing the whole world as a single nest. So, I started with this quote and elaborated on that. Sometimes, when you hear a topic, you may think about a real incident. So, for example, last year there was a question on creativity, and the given topic was something like the essence of I'm not exactly reproducing the question. I'm just giving you the idea. The idea of that question was the essence of creativity is like seeing the magic in mundane things. So, a person who is creative is someone who can see a speciality, a magical thing from a very ordinary kind of thing. That was the topic. So, when I first saw this topic, I thought about Michelangelo and his masterpiece of work called the David. So, David is a sculpture which is very famous, and the story behind is that there was this particular marble piece which everybody discarded. But when Michelangelo saw that, he thought about, the whole thing, and he thought that he could make a real masterpiece out of this discarded, piece of marble, and he made David. So, this real incident crossed my mind, and making magical out of mundane things, this particular example has a direct connection. Or when it comes to any kind of inspiring kind of a story, you can always use real life examples. So, any of these things could do, but the example chosen, the example or the quote which you picked up should actually have a very direct connection to the given topic. You start with that quote or that incident or narrative and make a direct connection to the given topic. That way you could do a nice introduction. But mind you, this introduction should be maximum to half a page to 1 page. Beyond that, don't stretch it up. My suggestion is, if you could make this example or quote or narrative to half the page of your first page, a single paragraph, that will be the best thing. This ideally should be followed by a definition, because most of the essay topics, there will be some keywords and you have to write about that definition. For example, as I told you, this globalization topic, I started with this world as a single nest. So, this Indian idea in its Western outfit is dominating the world now in the name of globalization, and certain things I wrote in the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, I gave the actual definition of globalization. So, similarly, in any of the topics, you could actually give a definition, a proper definition. So, if you define that along with the earlier paragraph, a one full page of nice introduction is ready. If it's an abstract topic also, you should follow up the same thing. Abstract topic, maybe it's about, a thing which is more abstract, like maybe a happiness or freedom or such kind of a thing. There also you could use an example and follow it up with a kind of definition of the key concepts. After doing the structure part, we will take up different questions. Then this part will be more clear to you. So, introduction, as I said, is of very much importance. But don't come up with your own fictional account of narratives. Use real examples, real, depictions from books or movies, or even a quote which aptly describe the whole thing. So, one of my students who got very good marks in actual UPSC exam, she used to pick up topics based on whether she has a catchy introduction. So, that was her idea. Apart from, weighing the amount of other information, this part where she could come up with a really nice, catchy introduction, that was her, way of choosing a topic. And she ended up with a very good mark, that is 148 out of 250. So, that's also a nice way of, choosing the topic additionally. That point you could make a note. So, a nice introduction means a depiction of the essence of the topic in the form of a story, real life example or a quote, followed by the definition part. A nice introduction needs only 1 page. So, once you're done with your introduction, let's go for the body of the essay. So, we will talk about what are things you could put in the body of essay in the next episode. Thank you for watching.